Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. Great start for my opponent, 58 points, that's nearly a bingo. I am far from a bingo, but I do have a mixture of vowels and consonants, and I've got a scoring tile in the J. So can I reach any of the premium squares? I've got Jun onto the N, not leaving a good rack leave. I can't see anything through the Z or through the I. Jun is 26 points, leaving a pretty awful rack leave, but that is better than changing. But is there something better? Do I have something onto the Y? And I don't have to play off the J. Through an A, I could play Mall V, which would sort the rack out. What about something through the N, which uses the V? And I don't have anything to play parallel to Zinky, so this is a pretty poor situation. Jun is fairly blocky, though. It limits what my opponent can do. Is there really nothing better? I don't think so, but I suspect there may be. So Jun for 26. I draw an S, but I've only got one vowel now. And I'm duplicating the L's, but that's not too much of a problem. I have Vil and Mil on my rack. No F for either at the moment. Jun is fairly blocky. It doesn't take anything in front of the J, and it only takes a K after it. So my opponent's best opportunities for scoring are through the Z, and I would have Zils, but keeping M and V. Okay, opponent does go there, just the 32 points. So I can see I've got Vril, 14 points, that's pretty horrendous. Do I have something better? Zabra does take an S, so I could play Vims. 36 points, that's a lot better than Vril. Rack leave pretty poor, 35 points rather. But I can't see anything better. Not great. But I do have 3 vowels this time, and I do have a scoring tile in the F, so hopefully I can sort this rack out. If I can play off the F, one of the L's and one of the O's, my rack leave won't be too bad. I think fellow is good, F-E-L-L-O. So I could play that and Joe. What about a play through the I? I've got felon on my rack, so felony in row H. Can't see anything which gets the F tripled. And I can't see anything great through the V, but I'm expecting my opponent to take that out. There aren't many opportunities on this board. Now my F can go in front of the Y. Okay, so opponent does not take out the V. And I thought he might, so I hadn't really paid any attention to it. So do I have anything through it? I have novel. 27 points, and it's retaining the F. That's not bad. Rack leave, okay, F and O have some synergy. I'm stopping my opponent's scoring here. I'm not providing very much in return. Do I have something through the N which gets the F doubled? Something like on fell. That's not good. Can't see anything. So I am going with novel for 27. Great, I have flagons, and I think profanes is good. Can't see anywhere else. Well, flagons and FY, great. Well, I should be bingoing this go. Are there any other bingos? Well, I don't think so. Now, I think my opponent has managed to take out both of the spots I mentioned, but there's a third one because EF is good. So I have flagons down here for 79. Not good. Too many vowels, all 1 pointers. Quite a close game, just 12 points between us. If my opponent doesn't take the S, I've got leisure, which would sort the rack out. But I'm expecting him to go there. So I have LIEU and IURI on my rack, which are ways of sorting the rack out. And IURI does play parallel to flagons, as does Liu. Hex takes nothing after it. I'm not going to score hugely well with this rack. I can't see anything through the J. Wow, 77 points for my opponent, that's pretty good. My spots remain available for Liu and IURI. So I have Liu for 19. And I can't see anything better. Great. I draw a blank. Still one blank to come. Quite close to a bingo, but vowel heavy and triplicate E, so there may not be one here. But quite an open board, in that there's row N available for a 3-tile overlap. There's column 14 hooking AL. There's column 15 beginning with L. So the best bingo lane I think is column 14 hooking AL, which a lot of tiles do. Childs has provided a few floaters. So where to start? This L looks useful. So I'm looking for a 7 or an 8 through an L. Let me see what comes to mind. I have 15 minutes on my clock. Now, what about Emerid? I have Emerid, Ale and Gid. So, should I be looking for something better? I don't think so. And not looking for something better is driven by, well, Emery's as well as Emerid. Not looking for something better is partly driven by my judgment as to the likelihood of something better, which could be awry. And that's providing quite a hot spot in column 15 with a vowel next to this triple word square. Opponent could easily get a 40 or 50 point response. So a play through this L would be a lot better, or a play down from this L. I was just looking to see if Emery's played one square lower, but it doesn't. ALI not good. So 14 minutes on my clock. This rack plus an L. Not seen anything yet. I don't think Meeklier is good. It's not. Well, these racks look close, but I'm not seeing anything. Measlier is EA, not EE. Seamlier. Wow. Okay, so what about playing Seamlier, which opens up column 1 for plays ending in S. Wow, what a choice. That's Eremite. Which also plays in column 14. But not much difference between that. Okay, so decision time. Seamlier or Emeride or Emerite. Which is better? I'm going with Seamlier, and I think part of the reason is that if opponent plays in column 1, he'll be opening up column 2, columns 14 and 15 will remain available, whereas if I play in column 14, opponent plays a big score in column 15, and then all I'm left with are the floaters in child. So this is a more open play, which I think is good for me since I'm behind. Seamlier for 70. Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I have wiving on my rack. I don't think I have anywhere for that. It doesn't play in column 14. I don't think wivings is good. It's swiving. I have Vinu in column 2 for a big score, but I'm expecting that to be blocked. I am 4 points behind, but my opponent's on turn, so he's a tempo ahead. Even a play of Vinu is not going to leave a good rack leave. I think I'd need to get wiving down to achieve that end. Yeah, opponent plays in my Vinu spot. Does not provide somewhere for wiving. Fortunately, only scores 22 points. So what to do here? I've got win for 20 points. I'm just checking again column 14 to see if wiving fits. I don't think it does. No E's for Vinu. What about a play in row K through AL? I've got this ing ending and nothing to do with it. So what I could do is living. 11 points. It does sort the rack out. The W can be a useful scoring tile. I am taking out column 14, but I'm not so far behind that I need a bingo. And it is good to play off 2 of the I's, plus splitting up the V and the W, so there's quite a lot to like about this, although the score is dismal. I'm going with this. I have Wipeout, which does play in column 1, making Ugg and Tar. Does it play in column 14? Alu is... Wow, I don't need to worry about that, but I will check out of interest. It doesn't. So quite fortuitously, I have Wipeout down here for 91 points. Fantastic. And I draw the second blank. Rest of the rack is fairly bingo-y, but it's not balanced in terms of vowels and consonants, so I don't think I'll be bingoing again. But I have a 50-point lead with only 10 tiles in the bag. Now column 3 is quite a hot bingo lane for bingos ending in S. There is still one S out there, but the remaining tiles, not massively bingo-y, but there will be plenty of bingos there. Just the one S, no blanks, just the two E's, and a lot of A's and no I's. So what should I be doing? $39 points for my opponent. He is only 12 points behind. The remaining tiles suddenly are looking a little more bingo-y without that Q. I can't play parallel to Wipeout. I've got nothing to go after the W. So I'm really going to struggle to block this point, to block this lane. Now, do I have any tiles which hook a la? I don't. So I don't have a nice play in column 15. Well, my initial joy on playing Wipeout and drawing the blank has been dampened somewhat. Well, now what about playing Brad? 7 tiles in the bag. This rack lead gives me a fairly good chance of having a bingo in column 3, even if I don't draw the S, because my blank could be the S. Brad doesn't score much, but I'm 12 points ahead, and this is going to put me 23 points ahead. I'm also retaining the I for QI, and there are no I's in the bag, so I'm pretty much guaranteed some sort of score next go. The only bad thing about this play would be were my opponent to bingo, because if my opponent bingos in column 3, there are no bingo lanes for me to come back. But I'm just going to have to hope that he doesn't have a bingo. So Brad for 11. Okay, the S is still out there. And I don't think I have got a bingo in column 3. Column 2 also available for a 3-tile overlap, but I don't think I have a play there either. So this rack plus an S. Opponent continuing to score well, has now taken the lead by 5 points. Fortunately, the remaining tiles look unbalanced. After 2 low-scoring moves, I think I should try and score. Only 2 tiles in the bag. Do I have a bingo? So 7 minutes on my clock. I'm 5 points behind. I'm thinking about playing try down here. 27 points, which I think will be enough for me to hang on. I don't think there are any huge K spots. So my opponent could have anoraks, in which case it's game over for me. But try scores enough points, I think, to survive any non-bingo. 7 minutes on my clock. This spot for my I is unique to me, since I have the I and the blank, the only 2 tiles that can go there. Although opponent could play next to Allah, something beginning with NE, for example, or RE. Just trying to see what he may have. Okay, I'm not actually seeing anything, but he could be taking that spot. Do I really not have a bingo? There's the floating B. Not looking good. I'm sure there is no bingo ending in S, and I don't have a bingo ending in H either. Now I'm just wondering, well, I could have a bingo in column 15, couldn't I? I-R-E. I've got 5 minutes, let me see what bingos I've got. So, a tired, and I don't think that has an anagram. I'm not seeing anything here. Gritted. That doesn't play. 5 minutes on my clock. Trident. Wow, close. Alad, not good. I can't see anything with the blank as an S. 3 T's, not likely. Okay, so I can't see a 7-letter play which goes in column 15. It's just the R, so do I have a something something I-R-E word? I don't think so. So what about playing tired? 28 points, which is similar to TRIE, and this keeping blank T makes it much more likely I can go out next turn. I am worried about anoraks. What can I do to block that? 4 minutes on my clock. Any play in column 2. So what about playing tired here? Which definitely blocks anoraks. The T and the I are not useful floaters. 32 points is actually more points than I was looking at in column 15. And again, I'm likely to go out. Tired does take an S in front, but I don't think there are any bingos with an S in first or second position. I'm going with this. 3 minutes on my clock. Yes, I'm going with this. So the S was in the bag. Opponent does not have anoraks. So what do I have here? Well, I have ESTS and Geet. I have Sty, STIE, Chi and Ali. And I have Rest, so I'm certainly going out. I have a lead of 27 points. I don't think my opponent can score enough with his K. This play of tired looks obviously better than all of the ones I was looking at in column 15. I think I should probably have considered that earlier. So where is the best spot to go out? STIE, 23 points. I have SETS, SETS, 21 points, and ESTs even fewer. So I have a 27-point lead. Which should be enough for me to hang on. Opponent's got 11 minutes on his clock to come up with something. But his options are limited. I think he's played Oak for 29, which gives him a 2-point lead. I now have sets for 31. And the final score, 403 to my opponent, 440 to me, a winning margin of 37 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. He played Zinky, which was a nice start to the game for him. I had this rack and I went with Jun for 26. Nothing else here looks massively better, or better at all. Opponent plays Zabra and is now over 60 points in the lead. I come back with Vims and a poor rack leave. Opponent has Profane. And I play Novel here for 27, keeping FLO. That looks fine. Some of the other rack leaves slightly better, but the score's quite a bit worse. Opponent plays Hex, and now Flagons was the only bingo, which was great for my opponent. He has Studiers for 77 and moves into a bingo lead. I have a poor rack and I play Liu for 19. Opponent plays Childs, and at this point I'm 74 points behind, so I'm not in great shape, but I do have the blank. And I play Seemlia for 70. And Preemie, Epimere, and Epimere with the 2 I didn't spot, but Seemlia still looks like it's just got the edge. Opponent plays Gated, and now this was a pretty poor rack. I'm 20 or 30 points behind, and this just looked so hard to sort out. And in the end I went for 11, living for 11, K5, hiving. From the H that would have been slightly better, keeping the L free. Anyway, nothing hugely better. L10 for Wive. Onto the E. Okay, that's possibly would have been better. 2 eyes though. So I play living. Opponent struggling with his rack. Has Quonk, E7. Wow, look at that. Through the U, making Chi, Ok and Nai. Pretty good. So this was when my fortunes change dramatically. I have Wipeout for 91. Straight after living, when I was looking at a rack from hell. Opponent still has Quonk, plays Cats, and now I am just 12 points in front, and there are 7 tiles in the bag, including an S, and the board has a 7-letter S bingo lane. So I play Brad for 11 points, and well, I'm not going through all of these. I suspect there may be something a bit better amongst them. Opponent's rack, he plays Ow and goes into a 5-point lead. And this is the point at which I agonised over playing in column 15 and what to play in column 15 before eventually going for a column 2 play. No bingos here. So I played Tired for 32, which is fine. All of these plays which look better burn the blank. And I think that might be useful for guaranteeing an out in the final move. Opponent has Oak for 29 to go into a 2-point lead, but I can go out with sets for 31. So, pretty exciting game. I was behind. My opponent got off to a great start with Zinky. He stayed ahead through most of the game, but just towards the end I was able to get Wipeout down, which was a stroke of good fortune, and then was able to hang on to the end. And I think it was that final S being in the bag rather than on my opponent's rack, which could have made the difference. Anyway, exciting stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.